What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, brothers and sisters? It is your brother Speak Rock. Oh, it's been a long time. I feel like I'm myself again. I feel good. Hey, look, I got something great for y'all. I got a good brother in the show today. He's going to get ready to put it down. This brother I really, really care for. I respect what he's doing. I respect him as a man. So, look, that was my segue into what I really want to talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Hey, let me bring up a scenario real quick. I remember this stage play that came out. It was called Fences. The original stage play had Earl Jones in there. Then they did a movie for it. Then they had Denzel in there, Denzel Washington. And there was a situation where Denzel was dealing with his son, okay? And his son came up there asking him something, sideways, like, Dad, like, why you don't like me? And Denzel was like you? Like, boy, come here. Let me talk to you. As we say, Denzel had to get them together real quick. So Denzel's like, what do you mean like you? So the son is trying to explain, and Denzel's like, you know what? Straighten up, doggone it. Let me talk to me. Look at me as a man, and let's have a conversation. Get this like you stuff out of you. Where did this come from? So the son is so carried away about wanting to be. He wants affirmation through being light. So Denzel, the father, had to break it down to him. He's like, look here, I put food in your belly, right? You got a roof over your head, right? He said, you sleep in a bed, right? So what's the problem? You know what? Long story short, he was like, look here, me and your mama worked some things out before you was born, and liking you wasn't part of the bargain. I do for you because I'm your father. It's my responsibility. What you need to be concerned about is get down there to the grocery store, to your job, and getting your paycheck from that man who need to pay you. He said, because when I get my paycheck from my supervisor, guess what? He don't give me my money because he like me. He give me my money because he owe me. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is we talking about honor. We talking about men raising young boys to be men. Now, I got to say something that's going to cut deep. Y'all ain't going to like it, but I truly don't care if you don't like it, because that lets me know that there's a problem. A lot of these programs that we have today, we call ourselves mentoring. We call ourselves so-called developing young people. All we're doing is just pushing cotton candy and rainbows. Why am I saying that? Because I had a situation not too long ago where a young man felt like he can just go sideways and circumvent systems and do everything other than be a man to try to get a message to me. And for anybody who knows me, I don't operate like that. I'm cut from a certain cloth. I'm cut from some old school cloth. I'm not cut to these new ways. If you want to talk to me, you got something to say to me, you come stand flat-footed on your own 2 feet and you say it to my face. That's how I roll. I don't operate through social media. If you got something to say, you put something on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Guess what? I'm probably 9 times out of 10 not going to see it. If you are in my space, if I allow you in my space, the one thing that you will do, you will honor me, or you will not be in my space. That's where I come from and how I'm built. That's how men were built. We did not go to other people so we can say our piece. That's not how we was built. So guess what? Being that I'm not that way, I'm not gonna cater to a younger demographic just so I can be your friend. Just so I can show you that I like you. Miss me with the I've been through so much and people have treated me bad. Guess what? Join the club. If you want to run down a list of atrocities and horrific things that have happened to you as a young adult growing up, guess what? I can match you incident per incident. So the problem is, and I'm letting you know, everybody who got some kind of male mentoring group, guess what? You got work to do. Because if you didn't have work to do, this situation that just happened recently wouldn't have happened to me. I'm not going to entertain some young man who thinks he can cry his way to get my respect. You're not going to get my respect that way. You're going to earn it. And if you can't earn it, you don't deserve to be in my presence. Period. Ooh, that hurts. But it hurts good. I'm not taking it like that. We have an obligation to raise men. we have an obligation as black men especially to raise a warrior class of men. Every time I turn around, you got some young boy crying because we done took things too far. We sit there talking about, oh, it's good to share your feelings. It's good to cry. All the time? All the time you crying. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with being overly emotional. During a time where you should be fighting, during the times where you should be standing for righteousness, truth, and justice, you crying. Sometimes it makes me just think, I see why black women have such a problem with us. Because we have 40-year-old, 50-year-old so-called men that got a beard, that got a full head of hair, but they're really boys. You can tune me out. You can tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. You can sit there and tell me I'm ignorant. You can say whatever. But I'm speaking the truth. Look, I don't have any reason to be a big fish in a small pond. I am not going to open up some mentoring program just so I can have little people looking at me so they can admire me. That's not my calling in life. My calling in life is to ensure that we understand what we need to be doing so we can survive and be the best people that we can be. And we're not going to be it by cooking hot dogs and baking cupcakes and pushing flowers and rainbows to these children. And we're not telling them what the reality of life is. So the next time you call yourself mentoring somebody and they have something to say to me and they're above the age of 18, you better send that joker by himself. Don't have him come any other way. And if he don't come right, if you don't prep him to come to me right, I'm going to ball him up. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to ball him up. And he going to come back to you crying, and I pray to God he looks at you and said, you didn't prepare me. You didn't prepare me to go see Rock. That's a grown man. Now understand this. If I allow you in my space, you're going to honor me. You're going to honor me when you're in my presence, or you're going to honor me by leaving my presence.